Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan, coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Alright, and it have a lot of videos starting to recircle back to the surface, basically. The time that we living in, the Lord have it that way to put the spirit on brothers to, bring back out videos, more people getting dreams and so forth, and people are seeing the mark of the beast that is starting to be revealed. Alright, and we know Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the top banking families, the elites today, they are the main problem of that. They are the main people who pushing that device, alright, to bring forth a digital system, and so forth. Alright. So without further ado, there's a brother page here, Arrows of Ignition 144, right? You can subscribe to the brother and be edified. GMS Salakia, GMS strictly testimonial, right? So let's take a look.
Hello, y'all. So, I just woke up, like, literally, not too long ago. So, I had this dream about some people, it was a whole lot of people being caged, like, being fenced in this, like, a building. It was a real big building. Like, people was screaming out of fear, trying to get away. And the people that was closing them in, like, they were dressed like they was in the army. And they all had guns. And so, it's like I was in a dream. It was like, it said, like, you have to have the microchip. So I'm like, what? I forgot what happened with me, but, it's like I was just seeing all this. So I'm like, man, this got to be a wonderful God, like, to tell the people, because, like, I'm not the only person who had this, this kind of dream.
And before we before we reach this video here, that first video, it reminds me of a dream that I also had, and here down in Trinidad here, as we know, this here is going to be something worldwide, right, for people to take, that m.o.t.b they're going to push forth, the mark of the beast, and which is the RFID total chip, the C-hip that you see in a lot of countries using right now and so forth. When that mandatory for everyone to take, that is where, a lot of craziness is going to start to be taking place and whatnot. But fast forwarding, the dream that I had, it was a little similar to what the lady before was speaking just now, and they basically use the schools, the schools. Those of you who probably know down here, ever visited Trinidad, and Tobago, you will see the way how the school structure are set up on this side, and it's tall buildings, like 3-story buildings and so forth. and a lot of stairs and classrooms. And basically what they did, they bar around the building with wire, you know, not the barbed wire, but with basically put it like in a cage, you know, the the um the normal windows that they just normally have in the schools, they basically replace them with a more heavy duty steel, you know, and like wire, what you would build a cage with, where you build a bird cage with, but a very thick material, you know. And then they had like the fence outside with the barbed wires, and they have people inside of there was screaming and whatnot, because I was more outside the building looking in, watching, and that's the vision that the Lord gave me, and you're seeing, you hear, I wasn't seeing, but I was hearing people screaming, and, they seeking help, and that is those FEMA camps and whatnot that, ESO is coming with, in the different parts of the world, however your country set up, they're going to bring forth, they're going to restructure some of these buildings, some of these storehouses as FEMA camps and so forth, to basically hold people, because what they're looking to bring is civil war. So they have to have somewhere to place people in it for their bad behavior and whatnot, right? But it's really and truly is to torment people and to put that microchip inserted into them. All right. So we are the end. We are the end. All right. So let's continue with this one here.
Hello, TikTok. I remember last night when I had the dream. It was kind of scary slash nightmare. If you know me and you know my page, you know that I often get dreams that are prophetic. And if I remember them and they're detailed in any kind of way, I know the Lord wants me to share. But this one, I know He definitely wants me to share. But I had forgotten that I had the dream. And so I was just sitting here and He put it on my head. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to share that. Because it was big. It was big. I've never had a dream like that before. And I know it was prophetic. If I remember more, I'll post it in here. But I'm just going to say what I remember. It all happened so fast. I was in some kind of lab or hospital setting. I was being forced down. People were by, just like lab looking people. I think there was even some people that were maybe in suit and ties. They were laughing and gathering around me while I was being forced down. All of a sudden, I felt something enter my forehead real hard, like they were doing a procedure on me, an actual like surgical procedure. I felt something go into my head and I felt something go into my hand. And I remember one of them said, we're putting the chip in her or something like that. We're putting the chip in her. I remember hearing the word chip. I remember them laughing. And I remember once I was scared. I knew right then that I had just taken, I knew that it was the mark. I knew it was evil. I didn't feel in danger though. I thought that was kind of weird. I didn't feel in danger. I didn't think, oh my, I just took the mark. But things were but I felt computerized immediately. I remember seeing in front of me like a feed, like names will scroll and what they say like on the phone when you're texting, it'll scroll down like a feed. I remember seeing a feed pop up like a trajectory in my head, and it was feeding. It was like I saw these conversations, and where that was at in my head and in my hand felt heavy, like I felt like a machine, like out the blue, like I felt like boink, like I was instantly programmed, like a, like a real robot. Oh, wow. And I remember it was heavy. I could feel it. It was heavy enough to where I could feel it.
Right? So, you know, a lot of dreams, a lot of things are being showed. Let's see. Let's go to the book of Joel, chapter 2. I reach the Revelation. They see me press Joel, Revelation pop up. This is the time that we in, we in the time of revelation. Everything is being revealed. Right? This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 28. It says, "And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit." Right? And this is what the Lord doing, showing our people today what is actually taking place and what's coming. Right? Setting up the prophets to go out there and preach this word and to warn you people of what is there to come. So, hearing what, the two ladies had to say there in two separate videos, in one, basically, the vision that they got, it basically did what? It scared them, right? It scared them. And a little account of that is also in the book of Daniel, when Nebuchadnezzar, he and all got a dream, and he got scared, right? That's Daniel 4. And verse 4, right? It says the vision of a great tree, right? It says, "I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house and flourishing in my place. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head trouble me." Right? And this is it, the Lord, Nebuchadnezzar is not no Israelite, but it has shown you that the Lord put in the spirit, he just put the spirit on any flesh and anyone, right? He will scare you, or he will even show you certain things that, will uplift you, right? But in this time here right now, what the Lord is doing is bringing visions upon people, and scaring them, because why? They had to see what is taking place, right? There's Job chapter 7 and verse 13. It says, when I say my bed shall comfort me, my couch shall ease my complaint, then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifiest me through visions. Right? Is what the Lord does do. Right? And a lot of our people today, and also these heathens also, they get in a lot of dreams. Some people get, the heathens, they get in, I know for sure they just get dreams because they just talk about it. They get dreams of they being in slavery, right? So that is coming to them. So the Lord basically showing them their future, what is going to take place, right? And then it have those jakes out there also, they getting dreams of thermonuclear fire, coming and destroying people, They're showing you that, hey, it's that time you had to repent and turn back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right? Or else you're going to be in that same destruction, So, pertaining to the video that we saw here with the CHIP, that the lady here is speaking about, that they saw, this is what she is basically talking about, is the Neuralink, the one in your forehead is the Neuralink, right? And what Esau wants to do is basically bring forth this as something mandatory for people to take, right? And also the one in your hand. If it's not the one in your head, it's either the one in your hand, right? Now it says here, Neuralink, led by Elon Musk, and we all know who Elon Musk is rapidly scaling its brain-computer interface technology, with 21 people successfully implanted as of early 2026 and plans for mass production in 2026. The company aims to automate the surgical process using robots to make implants safer and more accessible for treating paralysis and neurological disorders, right? And they will come out and say, well, they looking to heal the blind, they looking to heal the sick, they looking to do these things because these people suffering and so forth, when they are the ones that putting people in these suffering states, by giving you things, certain type of things to eat, putting certain products in these foods, supplies and whatnot that harming your body, and this man is a wicked man. As the scriptures say, he that is wicked to himself, to whom he may be great, to whom he may be good, right? That's roughly paraphrasing. So this man, he has a tendency to show some sort of sympathy, but really and truly is a evil plan he has behind it, right? We could go to I'm gonna get something here. Psalms 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? So, this devil will come out and say all kind of different things. Tell you, we're looking out for your we're seeking your best interests. We're looking to take care of the people who lose limbs, people who lose their eyesight, people who born without eyesight. They trying to be like Yahushai. Yahushai is the one that we know of that heal the blind and the lame and them. And this is what Esau wants to be. He wants to be like the Most High. This is what he wants to be. You know what? Let's go and get our script here real quick. Isaiah chapter 14. Well, let's start from verse 13. It says, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of power. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, right? And this is this devil mindset, right? He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to have total control over people. This is why Esau wants to come along with great wrath. This is why he's coming along with great wrath. Revelation 12 and verse 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come now unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time." This man knows he has a short time, so therefore he looking to bring forth his technology even faster. And the things, as we in the book of Revelation, let's go to Revelation 2 and verse 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil," the word devil goes into slander or deceiver, is actually as a man, right? That devil is actually a man. It's not the red devil that you see, that you will picture in your mind with a horn on his head, and a long tail and pitchfork, and he tormenting you down in a so-called hell place with fire and whatnot. No, that is Esau mascot. That represents Esau. But that is not real. That is not real. Hell is basically what? Hell is just a lower state. The problems that you go through, the hell that you go through, the suffering that you go through, that is hell. And also known as the grave also. When you die, you go down into the grave, right? Verse 10 again, Revelation 2 and 10, it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison," right? And our prison is also what, the first lady in the video was speaking of, not this one, the other one. She was speaking about the prison, the places that she was seeing and people, being tormented and whatnot there, is basically to give you that, is actually for you to get tormented where you won't be able to take it no more, where it is you will bow to them, that's what they want you to do, to bow to them, to take that chip, right? And that chip, I have it here. I will do a part 2 on this also, right? But this is the chip here that that she was seeing, and this is the mark of the beast here. Okay, there's not no Sunday worship, it's not no sin, it's not no sleeping with a white woman and whatnot. It's a literal mark. All right, so it says here RFID chips. All right, AI overview, it shows you here also. RFID means what? Radio frequency identification. Chips are tiny electronic devices planted with antennas to wirelessly store and transmit data like ID numbers, right? Or product info. Isn't that what they're trying to do? Bring a digital ID on your phone, instead of using a plastic ID. They want it because they're bringing it off like, if it is you lost your ID card, it's plastic, you lost your ID card, it better, people always have the phone on them, so it's easier to keep it on your phone. But then they will come and say some nonsense that people just lose their phone too, or people's phone just get hacked, so they will come with another lie, another situation and say, well, we have something else to counter that, where they want to bring forward that chip, that RFID chip, right? The one as small as a rice grain, and also that Neuralink, It says Viva radio waves to a reader without physical contact, right? You see that physical contact you see in here? That physical contact, pay attention to that. Because in the time of the the pandemic, what they did? They didn't want people to contact each other. They didn't want people um to touch certain things, because if you touch it, you're gonna get sick. They push for that fear, that fear monger upon people, so they're going to come out with this digital system now, where, as it says, a Viva radio wave to a reader without physical contact, so you don't have to do any physical touching of money or any kind of thing like that. You just basically tap in. That's why they have the cards today, the new links card, the new credit cards with a chip on it, that all you have to do is just tap, 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 right? So they already putting things in place by using what gradualism for you people, right? So hey, is a time that we're living in that you're seeing things happening, all right? So Revelation 2:10 again, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. That 10 days is just a matter of time. It could be more than 10 days. It could be less. It could be exact, right? But look what it says here. Be thou faithful unto death, which means a lot of people are going to die, right? But you have to be faithful unto death. You know who you're being faithful to? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Not Jesus Christ, not Buddha, not Santa Maria. Some people might say, well, they're being faithful to these things. These are the gods. But these gods are not gods. They are idols, right? So these people who being faithful to those other gods, they actually get in the judgment, thinking they're doing something correct, right? But those who are being faithful unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and following in the right doctrines and doing the righteous things, and pleasing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, those are going to see the kingdom of heaven, all right? It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Some men, some brothers out here in this truth are to be martyrs, Some of them are going to be martyrs. They are to put the neck on the guillotine, because of the things that happening, and to show their dedication towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right? And then to have those that will not taste of death. The Lord is going to protect them also. Right? So everyone have a lot. Every woman has a lot. All right? But overall, what we see in here is a lot of things taking place, and the devil is coming on with great wrath, Akim, and Akot out there. All right? So I will do a part 2, because I have some more to basically go into with this. All right. So with that, I'll see you all on the next one. I'll give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raka Kodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan signing out, and I will say Shalom.